Look at their eyes. They're all sparkling. They love the shit. They love blood. They love action. Not this talky, depressing, philosophical bullshit.
Today we're going to compare Birdman versus Black Swan. The first thing you might be thinking is, why are we even comparing these two movies? Well, the protagonist in both of these films is dealing with a great amount of stress as a result of their occupation. Both protagonists are extremely passionate about their art, and both forms of art are live entertainment. They both experience hallucinations, and they are both eventually driven to a place that endangers their life. In order to compare Birdman and Black Swan, we need to find categories that both of these films do very well. For this video, we will look at the acting, the theme, the visuals, the characters' decompensation, and the supporting characters.
Right into their
I'm
camp.
fine.
By the time I got down to the hospital, this kid.
The first category will be the quality of the acting with the main character. Both films feature Oscar-caliber acting. Michael Keaton was nominated for his performance as Best Actor in a Leading Role, while Natalie Portman won Best Actress in a Leading Role. Michael Keaton has to convey someone who has lost his career and is seeking to revive it. He undergoes a high level of stress, and he has to deal with a lot of interpersonal conflict, mainly with his daughter, played by Emma Stone, and his co-star with Edward Norton. He even has to justify his own validity to himself as a serious artist. All of his fame and acting credibility is coming from him starring as Birdman, a superhero blockbuster role. He is not known as someone who can do dramatic roles, so doing this type of play with a live audience that is almost solely based on his performance is really a very different type of art for him. Natalie Portman's role is more about ambition and the pressure to succeed. She struggles with mental illness, manifesting as hallucinations and paranoia. A lot of her paranoia is coming from losing the role, and all of her other dancers around her are aiming to kind of take her place. She must struggle with how to react to her instructor, who is also her boss, as well with her overbearing mother. Keaton's role, although complex, allows him to fulfill an already established person who encounters his issues. Natalie Portman's role is still undergoing an identity crisis and suffers a wider emotional spectrum. Because of the more intricate nature of Portman's role, and helped by the fact that she won an Oscar, I would give acting to Black Swan.
Unprepared to even attempt real art.
Black Swan and Birdman feature two very different themes. Birdman features a theme based on artistic integrity. Riggan was once known as a blockbuster movie star, but his dramatic skill is called into question by his co-stars and by critics.
Blissfully untrained, unversed, and unprepared to even attempt real art. Handing each other awards for cartoons and pornography. Measuring your worth in weekends.
Putting on this play is Riggan's path to gaining legitimacy of his craft. He is the leader of this entire production, and it is basically functioning as a symbol for his entire career. Black Swan features an aspiring ballerina whose entire existence is based on her profession. After Nina earns the role of the Swan Queen, she feels an immense pressure to succeed. We see her struggle emulating the Black Swan, who the part of the performance is very dependent on passion and lust. Her stress leads to her paranoia and hallucinations, where she begins to emulate the part of her role that she is struggling with, the Black Swan. Although Black Swan features a much more metaphorical depiction of the film's theme. Pressure to succeed is something that we see often, recently in films such as Whiplash and various sports movies that feature a very similar concept. Birdman's artistic integrity is covered less and hasn't been done better in the context of entertainment. Therefore, Birdman has the superior theme. When it comes to visuals, both of these films are very highly regarded. Birdman won an Oscar for Best Cinematography, while Black Swan was nominated. Black Swan is heavily dependent on its hallucinations, which translates to a lot of special effects. Some of these effects are amazing, such as when her legs break the wrong way, like a swan's would, or when she finds feathers embedded in her. Birdman has a very unique approach in which the entire movie appears to be one take. Each time a scene changes, it is cleverly disguised by camera movement. This does a tremendous job illustrating stress and creates a sense of urgency when you're an audience member watching the characters try to deal with all of these events. It is hard to argue with such a fluid method of cinematography, so Birdman will take this category.
Waiting for something we'll give it to you. Shit on that. Nothing.
The decompensation for these two films is one of the most intricate elements. These films are both very big on stress and, by extension, mental anguish. Riggan experiences a sense of duality by hallucinating his former character of fame, Birdman. Birdman follows him around and tries to tempt him into returning to his former glory.
You were a movie star, remember? What are you trying to prove? That you're an artist? Well, you're not. Fuck you! So, you could jump right back into that suit if you wanted to. We're not dead. Look at me. You're an imposter here. Not dead. There's nothing we! There is no we! I'm not fucking you!
He represents an easy path, one of proven success. Riggan must fight to move beyond this influence and keep everything together, despite various snags in production and personal doubt. Riggan is ultimately driven to a point where he has had to overcome so much that he completely loses himself in his role and actually shoots himself, reaching the ultimate level of legitimacy. Black Swan also features a sense of duality, but it is accompanied by extreme paranoia.
You made me your alternate. It can't be her. It can't be her.
What's going on?
Lily. You made her my alternate.
Well, there's always an alternate. Lily's the best choice.
No, but she wants my role.
Every dancer in the world wants your role.
No, this is different. She's after me. She's trying to replace me.
Nina has a lot of difficulty embodying the Black Swan, so her subconscious begins creating hallucinations that fall in line with the concept. Nina's mother recognizes these signs and attempts to restrict her involvement, but approaches it poorly and ends up alienating Nina.
Sweet girl, huh? She's gone! No, please! You're not well! Let go of me! You can't handle this! I can't! I'm the Swan Queen. You're the one who never left the Corps.
Nina reaches a point of depersonalization and experiences several instances in which she perceives someone else's involvement when it was actually her own. Nina's decompensation is more extreme and bears a heavier burden than Riggan's, and the audience experiences it alongside her the entire way.
He was never around.
Yeah.
Imprecise?
I mean, so what?
The supporting actors for Birdman are mainly based around 2 supporting actor nominations, with Edward Norton's Mike and Emma Stone's Sam. Norton and Keaton have an amazing dialogue about how to portray a certain scene, which shows the conflicting motivations between the two perfectly.
Come on, give it to me.
Well, I'm thinking.
Fuck me.
Sam lectures her father about his priorities and brings a generational perspective to Riggan's goals. She comments on how he completely overlooks the entire platform of social media and is really lost in this very old and dated platform. Even when Riggan is absent from the scene, Norton and Stone have an amazing exchange on the roof in which they explore each other's perspectives. Having these powerful scenes alone in the movie really works to add to Riggan as a character and really expands what it's like for him to try to put a play on with these complicated individuals involved. Black Swan is largely dependent on 3 supporting actors: Nina's mother, her boss Thomas, and Lily, who is a rival to her Black Swan. Her mother follows a very typical overbearing role to an unhealthy obsession. Unfortunately, we only really see the mother's motivations through Nina's eyes. We don't really see the mother develop. She's basically just present when Nina returns home. Thomas is an excellent character who is the personification of the pressure that Nina experiences. He pushes her boundaries, takes advantage of her, and drives her to her end. This relationship is essential for the film. Lily is also an important role, but her presence is more of a looming threat rather than an intricate counterpart. Nina is more focused on that fact that Lily is her rival, but Mila Kunis' acting is not what makes it so essential. It is simply her presence. Because of the lack of intricacy in 2 out of 3 of Black Swan's main supporting characters, Birdman has the better supporting cast.
People, look at their eyes. They're all sparkling. They love the shit. They love blood. They love action. Not this talky, depressing.
Very, very polar opposite. It is very stop and go. The Hurt Locker only has 2 or 3 scenes that are really hunt for a French film. Inception has the advantage of being a more character-driven film, while The Matrix leaves most of its characters in awe of their surroundings.